Hi and welcome to this week's project. I've spoke about this before, doing this type of thing, and what I'm wanting to do today, I make obviously a lot of box blanks, so I am going to be making a silicone bung to put in the centre of the blanks. With silicone, that means I can take it out and the hollow is already there and it's just a matter of finishing off the hollowing. So what I have here is a bit of 2-inch pipe. I've made a couple of cuts in the end bit here because I'm going to need for some sort of lolly stick to stick through so that I can hold it, because I don't want it going down to the bottom of the plastic pot. I want it to hover above, and I think this would be hovering up about a good inch above. So the plan is, for the first one, is to make a silicone mould all the way up to the top of here, so that this is stuck in place. I'm going to just hot glue this in place, roughly about even, all the way around to stop silicone leaking out of there. So that's that bit like that. And then for the next bit, I'm going to use a little bit of plastic here, which is just a little bit of plastic bag, actually. I'm going to run a rim round the bottom here. I actually do some pouring with the resin with this same type of mould, and it works very well. Now I'm going to cut that. So I'm going to leave a bit of plastic around the edge like that. And then I'm just going to put a bead of this around the edge there, just to hold this. Now watch your fingers when you're doing this, because the hot glue is incredibly hot, and I actually can withstand quite a bit of heat on my hands. So I've got some of this tape here which I use for the resin tables, so I'm just going to put, you actually find with silicone, because it's that bit thicker, it's not like resin where it's like water and it'll just seep out. This isn't too bad. So the resin I'm using is from DWR Plastics. It's the cheapest place I've found for silicone. I think for one of these big containers with the, I think this is a medium or fast catalyst. I can't remember which one it is. Yeah, it's medium. So it says about 3 hours, but I find actually it takes a little bit longer. But I think this is about £50. It's a lot cheaper than silicones everywhere else anyway. So I'm going to have just a bit of a guess on the amount that I need at first. It's done by weight, this as well. Then give it a good stir. This stuff actually mixes very quick. Right, so that's that mixed up. I find I don't need to degas this. It gets rid of the bubbles quite easy. I've not had a problem yet anyway. Okay, so that's perfect. What I'll basically do now is leave it for, it's very runny there actually, leave it for about 6 hours, 7 hours. I'll probably check it in between, but it'll be tomorrow before I demould it. But I'll take you back for that, which will happen in just 2 seconds. Hi and welcome back. So it's the next day now, and I'm going to see how well this works really, is the main thing. We'll get this hot glue off and we'll get all the tape split and off. Okay, so and I'll actually be able to seal that with a bit of hot glue for the next one. So there we go. Open. So that's the bit done.
Somebody ought to come along and let you down, so you could see my side and how it feels to hit the ground. How can you say that nothing's different, that we should pick up the pieces? Somebody ought to come along and let you down. If you still wanted to be loved, you should have never let me go. Hope somebody will break your heart and leave you crying on the floor. You let me down, I won't do this all again. Even if I try, I can't forget it. If you still wanted to be loved, you should have never let me go. Somebody said it should be easy to forgive. We all make mistakes and no one lives without sin. But why'd you have to break my heart? I wasn't ready to let you go yet. And now you're standing at my door, thinking that I'm gonna let you in. But if you wanted to be loved, you should have never let me go. Hope somebody will break your heart.
Hi and welcome back. So this is actually the next day, but I after pouring that, took it out of the pressure pot after 2 hours. I took the hot glue off here. Now this should just pull out of here quite easy. Perfect. Got that there. So the next part now really is I actually need a silicone bung to put back in here, because I am then going to pour the rest of the resin on. I actually filled it up a little bit too deep, to be honest, so but I think it'll work out fine for me. So what I need to do now is I'm going to recast one of these in normal instances to put back in here, but with this one I'm actually just going to cut it off, probably slightly larger. I've marked it already, slightly larger than it was, and then I'm going to fill the container up with the rest of the resin. So I'm just going to cut this down. This is not really the best knife for this, but it happens to be all I've got at the minute. Okay, so that's that. So poke this in. So what the idea is really is when it comes to parting off the lid, we're going to be parting in this area. I'll be clearing back quite a bit and then parting it off, and the hope is I part it off into the silicone there, and then when I lift it off there should be a slight hole in the top of the lid, which is fine, and the clearing in here, which I'll be able to take this back out of. So proof is in the pudding, and now I shall mix this up and get the second part put on, get this put in the pressure chamber, and we'll have a look in a couple of hours time.
Feel my pain and know what it's like to be left out in the cold, standing by yourself, no one to hold. If you still wanted to be loved, you should have never let me go. You should have never let me go.
Hi and welcome back. So final video. I did release this a little bit before, so it was a bit easier to come out. Always comes out nice and clean from these pots, and that is the whole blank ready. It is actually a little bit heavier with that silicone in it, which I wouldn't have thought it would have been, but it is a little bit. So all I have to do now really is just to clean the top off and put a waste block on the bottom, and then I should be ready to get this on the lathe. That's going to be coming in a second video within the next couple of days of this one. So as you can see here, we can see the witness line for the different colours, so I know that I'm going to have to part off there. So it's actually a good pointer to show me that, and we'll see if we can work it, and we'll have a look and see what it looks like and if the silicone worked inside. But anyway, that's all for the next video, so hope you enjoyed this one, and thank you very much for watching.